Yesterday we said that we have 4 types of curves known as conic sections: parabola, circles, ellipse, and hyperbola. And we said that also these conic sections, it's a curve that if I intersect a plane with a double cone, if I intersect it vertically, horizontally, from the side, I tiled it, I will get these 4 shapes. And these 4 shapes, we call them conic sections. Conic sections because we make this conic and take a sections from it. We will discuss these 4 shapes, inshallah, for the next new lesson, 4 lessons. And we graphed a circle. We said that the equation of a circle is, as you know before, x squared plus y squared equal 25. If you have this equation here, that's mean, look here, it's like this. First, it's like this. That's mean, as you see here, 0, 0, that's mean here's the origin is 0. The origin of a circle is 0. And this one is the radius r. Okay, so if you see x minus 0 and y minus 0, that means the origin here is 0. But if you see as an example, x minus 1 and y minus 2, here that's mean the center here is 2. And here also, we graphed this one and we talked about this one. Okay, I think we stopped here yesterday. We said that for the difference between the circle and the ellipse, that in the circle we have a many line of symmetries, but in an ellipse we have only 2 line of symmetries. One in the x-axis and the other will be on the y-axis, or one will be vertically and horizontally. Later on we will talk about it. Now here we talked how can we graph an ellipse. Now, how can we graph an ellipse? First, as you see here, we have this equation 9 x squared plus 16 y squared equal 144. Now from here, okay, I have this equation. This equation is not for a circle, it's for an ellipse. So I suppose now it's supposed to be, or to draw an ellipse. The first step, I have to look here, we have to find first the x and y intercepts. So let's find now the x intercept. The x intercepts, that's mean the value of y is 0. Now, so 9x squared equal 144 over 9 over 9. So x squared will be 144 over 9, which is 16. So that's mean x, it could be positive or negative 4. So the x-intercept here is positive, negative 4. Now what about now the y-intercept?
Positive, negative 3.
The y-intercept, I have to put 0 now. Actually, x now as a 0. So go back now to my equation here. I will have now 16y squared equal 154 over 16 over 16. Now
y squared equals 9.
It will be 9. Thank you. So y squared equal 9. So y now.
So y equals positive or negative 3.
So the x-intercept here for me will be positive 0, positive negative 4 and 0, and the y-intercept is 0, positive negative 3. This will be now my first step. Now after that, here we have these points. Let's plot it now. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 negative. Now for here, 4, 0. Where's the point 4, 0? It is here. Negative 4, 0, it is here. Now 3, 0, it will be here. And negative 3, 0, it will be here. Now if you look at these points, okay, we know that a circle, it has a radius. It has a same radius from the center to any point in the circle. So, but look here the distance is 4, and here the distance is 3. So this not will be a circle, because if it's circle, the vertical will be 4 and the horizontal distance will be 4 also too. So here it will be a kind of circle. We called it an ellipse. This one here, as you see, assume that I plot my points correctly. So this will be now an ellipse. For this ellipse now, as we see here, that so it must have here the same distance from the 0 to the positive 4, and from the 0 to negative 4, and from the 3 vertically and 3 down vertically. So as you see from here, we have now an ellipse. Now, so after I find the intercepts, I draw the graph. I want to find now the line of symmetry. Where's our line of symmetry? Did we have many lines of symmetry, or we have only?
We have two, y equals 0 and x
now,
equals 0.
Now, where's now my ellipse? Oh, sorry, my line of symmetry. I have two lines of symmetries, two lines of
x-axis and y-axis.
It will be on x-axis and y-axis. So look here, line of symmetry, what does it mean? That means it cut the graph into two parts. So one of them, it could be the y-axis. So the lines of symmetry here is the y-axis. Did I have another one now? Yes, the x-axis here. This one also is another line of symmetry. So for an ellipse, we have only two lines of symmetry, but for a circle, we have many lines of symmetry. Now, what are the domain and the range? So I sketch the graph, I find the lines of symmetry. Now I have to find the domain and the range. As I said yesterday, the domain is all, I mean by it, the x values. So the domain here is all real numbers from -4 to 4. So here it's all the real numbers from -4 to 4. And the range now is all real numbers from where to where? Who can tell me?
-3 to 3.
-3 to 3. Thank you. So because from -3 to 3. لما معايا حنين. Think Lana, Rose. Here is our absent. Ragad, Sarah, Sausan, Maya. Okay. Okay, so here we graphed the ellipse. Is it clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No? Yes, did I want to repeat it?
No, yes.
No, it's clear.
No, yes. What does it mean? Is it clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
Now, look at this one here. What is the graph? 2x squared plus y squared equal 18. What are its line of symmetry and what are the domain and range? Now, from here, we have 2 2x squared plus y squared equal 18. Now, what's my first step?
Find the y-axis and the x-axis.
Thank you. So I have to find now the y and the x intercept. Now, the y-intercept, I have to put now x0. So let's make x0. So y squared will be 18. So y will be positive negative square root of 18. And square root of 18, as you know, it's 9 times 2. So it will be 3 square root of 2. So I have to write now here 3 square root of 82. Now, x-intercept, that means y is 0. If y is 0, 2x squared equal 18 over 2 over 2. So x squared equal 9. So x will be what? 3 or
3.
3?
Positive negative 3.
Positive negative 3. Thank you. So now I find the x, or I found, sorry, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Now after that, I have now the points are 0, positive, negative 3 square root of 2, and positive, negative 3, and 0. Now, one of you asked me now, or maybe will ask me, teacher, how can I know if this equation is for a circle or for an ellipse or for an hyperbola or parabola? Now, here I will give you, in this lesson, we didn't talk about the details of these equations, but I will tell you here, if you find x squared plus y squared equal r squared, or any number like number 9 as an example. If you have this equation, look at the coefficient of x. It is 1, nothing. And here also it is 1. So if there's no coefficients with the x and the y, okay, and here I have only one number, which is the radius, this equation is for a circle.
If the coefficients are the same, it's also
No.
for a circle.
If like as an example, 2x squared plus 2y squared equal 9,
Yeah.
9 as an example. Yes, it will be a circle also. But here, but step by step. If this one, here we have 1, 1, and 1 radius, or if they are the same. Why if they are the same? Because if I divide here by 2 and by 2, I can make them now have the same coefficient. Oh, sorry, the coefficients with 1. So if you see now, before this lesson only, later on, we will say as, I think Sausan or Hanin said, if the coefficients will be not 1. So here, if they are 1x squared plus 1iy squared equal 9, I'm talking here about a circle. But now, so if we have here, I will rewrite them now. If we have here x squared plus y squared equal r squared, or here we have 1, 1, or 2, 2, or 3, 3, the same number, and I divide all of them by 3, this will be for a circle. But now, if we have the same, now with number like 9, okay, but we didn't have here 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, no. If you have a number for x and another number for y, I'm talking about ellipse, like 3x squared plus plus 2y squared. Plus 2y squared. Look here now, we have 3 x squared and 2y squared. They are different and equal a radius. Now, if both of them are plus like x squared plus y squared, I'm talking about either ellipse or circle. But if they are subtracted, like x squared minus y squared, or 3x squared minus 2y squared, or 4y squared minus 3x squared, as an example, equal a number. Maya? Maya, are you here? Now, if they are subtracted, x squared minus y squared subtracted, I will talk here now. Sorry. I will talk here now about an hyperbola. Okay? If I have x squared plus y squared equal r, I'm talking about circle. If I have also added, but with the different coefficients, it will be an ellipse. If they are added, I will give you a hint, like added, like if you have a curve and you add another curve for it, you will make a circle. Is it right? Look here, how we have a like 2-letter U. If you added them, you will make a circle or an ellipse. But if they are subtracted like one will be on the right and one will be on the left, you will make a hyperbola if they are subtracted. And what about the parabola? For the parabola, you will later on you will say that it has like 1 over x squared or 4x squared or so on. It has different equation than these 3 ones. For this lesson only, we are talking about circle, ellipse, and hyperbola. Is it clear? Later on, inshallah, we'll talk about them. But here, just to know, like this quartet, how can I know that this is an ellipse or hyperbola from these equations? Is it clear?
Yes.
The others?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now, as you see from here, we have an x and y added. So I'm talking about either circle or ellipse. Now, the points are 3 square root of 2, يعني it will be greater than 3, less than 4. So you will put it here as an example. Uh, 3 and 3 here. Now, as you see from here now, this shape, it could be a circle or an ellipse.
It has to be an ellipse.
An ellipse. Is it right?
Yes.
Why it's an ellipse?
Because the
Because there is
distance from
no
the center to the y-axis and to the x-axis are different.
Thank you. The distance to the x-axis, to the y-axis, they are different. Look at also the coefficients here. They are not the same. 2, 1. It's not 2, 2 or 1, 1. So it will be an ellipse. So from the equation, I can know that it's an ellipse. And from the graph, I can know also it will be an ellipse. Now let's sketch it now. As you see now, it will be an ellipse. Now, after that, I want to find the line of symmetry. Where's our line of symmetry?
The axis.
Thank you. So the x-axis here is one line of symmetry, and the other y also here is the lines of symmetry. Now, what about the domain?
All real numbers from the negative 3 square root of 2 to positive 3 square root of 2.
Look at, thank you. Look at the x values here. The x values here, they are from negative 3 square root of 2 until positive 3 square root of 2. So that's mean the domain is all the real values or all real numbers from square root of 3 until from negative 3 square root of 2 until 3 square root of 2. Now what about the range? I'm talking about the y-axis, the y values. So all real numbers from negative 3 to 3.
Teacher?
Yes?
I think we did it wrong. The y values were supposed to be for the x.
Yes, thank you. So here we have, okay. So here we have 3 negative 3, and here we have 3 square root of 2, negative 3 square root of 2, because here we have the x intercepts. So now, because of that, here we will have a range, and here we have a domain. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So here, this is my range, and here, this will be my domain. Okay. Now, let's talk about now the hyperbola. For the hyperbola, as I told you, here you don't have a plus sign. Here you have a minus sign. This minus sign, That still means my two curves, I will not add it, it will be subtracted. Like one go to the left and the other go to the right, like one to the positive and one to the negative, like this. This one is for a hyperbola. Let's now sketch this graph. The first step, I have to find the x and y intercept. For the x intercept, that's mean x is x intercept, that's mean y is 0, sorry. So let's make y 0. So x squared equal 9. So x is equal positive negative 3. Now what about the y-intercept? Y-intercept, what the opposite of y is x. So x is 0. Let's make now x 0. 0 minus y squared equal 9. That means y squared is equal negative 9. Now, Habiba, what is, if we have y squared equal negative 9, what's the value of y?
9.
Y squared equal negative 9. What is y?
This a measure?
Yes, Habiba. What is the value of y? Can you find it? Or is there a number that if I multiply it by it, I will get negative 9? No. The
No real numbers.
9, there's no number. It will be imaginary, but no real numbers that if I multiply it by. It's himself, or like its number, I will get negative 9 because the squared, it have to be positive. So there's no, sorry. So because of that, there's no number. So what does it mean? That means there's no y-intercept. Only here we have an x-intercept. Now, later on, not now, but here I give you like something here. I started with x. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes. So I have only x-intercept. If you started with y, like y squared minus x squared, you will have only y-intercept. Now, I know this is maybe unclear, but inshallah later on, you'll understand what I say. So here I have now x squared minus y squared. So for x, for this equation, I have only x-intercept. So at point 3, 0 and at point negative 3, 0. Now, I told you yesterday that if you pick a point from my range, from my domain, like negative 0.2 as an example, in a circle, did you remember when I told you like x squared plus y squared equal 9? Okay, and I told you that pick number 2 as an example. 2 and 1. 2, like this point here. And I want to check that if this point is inside a circle. What did we say? We evaluate 2 squared plus y squared, which is 5. And since 5 is less than 9, we say yes, this point is inside a circle. That's I told you yesterday. But if this point is not less than 9, it will not be inside an air circle or an ellipse. Here now, we will have a same also. We can do the same. Like Now, here now, let's make upload. Now, at point -3, or let's make -3 here, -1 as an example, 0, 1, 3, 5, and -5. Now, at point 0, if x 0, what is the value of y? 0 squared minus y squared equals 16. Is there a value for y, for if x is 0? No, because we said that there's no y-intercept. Now let's check -1. -1 squared is what? 1 minus y squared equals 16. So y squared equals -15. Is there a real number that its square root is -15? Also no. So for -1 and 1, there's no numbers. Let's check -3 now. Yes, at -3 we will have zeros. What about at -5 and 5? Pick -5 as an example. We will say -5 squared minus y squared equals 16.
It can't be.
At -5.
Oh no, it can be because then you have the sign.
25 minus y squared equals 16. So y squared equals 9. So 25 minus 16 is what? Is it 9? Help me.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, yes, 9. Okay. So y, it will be positive -3. So here we have -3, and here we have positive 3. Is it clear? Just here, evaluate the numbers of x values in the equation to find the numbers for the y values. Is it clear here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now after that, 0, there's no number. 1, there's no. -3, I have these two numbers. Not at point -5. Oh my God. At point -5, you will have -3, like here. And at point 3, you will have 5. And if you have more than points, you will find that the graph is like this. This will be a hyperbola. Okay? As I told you, if I have, these are the hyperbola. The circle is like this. The ellipse is like this. The parabola is like this. And the hyperbola, as I told you, it will be two curves, one to the right and one be to the left. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I put the X intercepts, I graph the hyperbola. All the time it will be one to the positive and one to the negative, in vertically or horizontally. So now, then what's the line of symmetry? Yes, please, what are the line of the symmetry here?
It's only the X.
-3 or no?
Oh, it's X and Y axis.
Now, what are the lines of symmetry?
The x and the y axis.
We have one or two lines of symmetries.
Two lines.
2.
Why are two? because here we have because this one will be a line and this will be another line. So because of that, we have two lines of symmetry. Now, what are the domain? The domain, I'm talking about the x values. What are the domain
Really,
here?
3 and 3.
All real numbers greater than 3 and all real numbers greater than -3.
Yeah, it's from negative
Less than
infinity
negative
to
infinity.
Yeah.
Thank you. So here, look at here we have my domain. If I want to name it here, I will say it started from 3, and this one, that's 3 is included until infinity. And for the infinity, you must have, also you have to be, or you must have to be, to put this sign there like this, not this one. And from here, it will be from negative infinity, all the real numbers until -3. So I can say all real numbers that's greater than 3 and all real numbers less than -3. Is it clear? So here we have put this sign that's mean and. So here we have from negative infinity to -3 and from 3 to infinity. This will be the domain. Now what about the range? Is there any number that
No, there's no range.
There is no range.
numbers?
You will say that there's no range. Okay, what does it mean? That means all real numbers. Range or domain, it's mean like restrictions. Here there's no range, there's no